Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So for those who do know me and for those who don't still, my name is Kaisha, and this is going to be my first video for my YouTube channel. So today I just wanted to talk a little about being diagnosed with cancer. So my journey, this is going to be my journey, with cancer. In February of 2017, I was actually diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. For those who don't know, Hodgkin's lymphoma actually deals with your immune system, and it can affect you in many ways. In February, when I got sick, I actually didn't know at that time that I was going to be diagnosed with cancer. When I first got sick, I remember just being really sick, feeling like I couldn't eat anything, but I was just really thirsty. I remember being at my sister's house, and I was just always in the room. I couldn't eat anything, but like I said before, I was just really thirsty, but it wouldn't stay down. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go to the hospital. I feel like I can handle this. I thought maybe it was like a flu or something like that. So as time went on, days went by, I started to get worse. Different stages started to happen to me. And I was like, okay. I think like that third day that came, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I remember calling the ambulance for them to come get me. And I actually went to St. Joseph first. So I only went to St. Joseph first because I thought that, okay, it's the flu. They're going to get me in and get me out. So I went to St. Joseph. I went in the back. They did the different things like, took blood and different things like that. And I remember the testing came back and they said that my liver enzymes were high. So they were going to keep me. So I said, okay. I stayed there. I just remember always just laying down, being sick. I always like having to lay on my stomach because that was the worst part of my body that was actually killing me, besides the pain that I was going through in my legs. So I remember they did a EDG, and what that is they go down and they look inside of you. They go down with the camera and look to see, what's going on. So I remember they went in, and after I came out of that, they said that, it looked pretty bad, that I was actually bleeding internally, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So, after that testing, after a while, they just couldn't figure out what was going on. They did a liver biopsy. They still couldn't figure out where, what was going on for my liver to be failing the way that it did. So I remember after that, they just kept trying to give me pain meds and different things like that, but they weren't doing anything. So I stayed there for 2 weeks, and then they transferred me to Tampa General. So I went to Tampa General, and I was there. They did EDGs, they did liver biopsies. They still couldn't figure out why my liver was failing. So I remember after a while, they wanted to go ahead and send me home, and just give me medicine because they couldn't figure out, like where it was coming from. So I remember around the time that they were going to try and send me home, I said, well, I have this thyroid in my neck. And the doctor was like, that's not a thyroid, that's actually a lymph node. And we want to see if that's what's causing your liver to fail. So I remember they did the little surgery. Well, not really a surgery, but they went in with a needle just to take samples. And after that, the first part of the test came back, and it came back good. They said it was a second part, so I had to wait for that. So the second part came back, and I remember the doctor coming in, and he was talking, and he said, well, do you have any family? And I was like, well, yeah, I have family. And he was like, do you have anyone you can call? So I said, well, yeah, but what's going on? So he said, well, everything is fine. He said, the second part of the test came back, and you have what's called Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it's a certain type of cancer. So I sat there for a minute. I didn't cry or anything like that. I just was like, cancer. And he was like, yes, but, you know, it's treatable. You know, you can go through chemo for 6 months, you know, and, you know, all this different type of stuff. And I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, well, every cancer is treatable. But I was just thinking to myself, like, I was just trying to process everything, basically. And I remember I called my sister, actually. I told her, she panicked. And she called my aunt, one of my aunts, and she called our pastor, our bishop. And I remember they came, and my pastor was just like, my pastor was right there. He was like, you know, everything's going to be all right. Just remember, it's temporary. You know, God's got you, you know, different things like that. So it took me a while to cry. It took me a long time to process the fact that I was about to deal with cancer. And I don't know why I was so shocked, because you know, sometimes I guess we as human beings feel like we're exempt from things like that, like, oh, that can't happen to me, but it can. At the blink of an eye, your life could change. And I remember during that whole process, I went through a lot. I went through different stages in my body. I remember I used to have blood blisters just pop up. They would just pop up, and it would get so bad, my blood would thin out. I would lose so much blood. I remember I had like at least 5 different, I had at least 5 blood transfusions. And I remember just going through a lot with that. I remember being in and out of the hospital, you know, going through chemo. I went through a lot of different stages. This video was just a quick, you know, little piece. I don't want to do a lot because there's more to come. And I want to minister to a lot of people during this. Even if you've dealt with cancer, whatever type of disease you have dealt with, you know, I pray that even certain parts, as I keep going with this journey, ministers to you and helps you. Because sometimes when you're new to different things like this, and when I first got diagnosed, you know, I was just like, wow. And even going through the journey, I felt like I had no one, even when I was surrounded by everybody, you know. So you can't get to the point where you feel like, you know, I have no one understands me. And a lot of people won't understand what you're going through, especially if they have not been through it. And, you know, my testimony and what I've been through doesn't just stop at being diagnosed with the illness. It goes way beyond that. And that's why I pray that this channel goes far and that it does bless a lot of people. This is, like I said, it's going to be really short, but I do ask that you all follow me during this journey and just support. And, you know, I hope that it blesses you. Before I do end the video, I do want to let my friends and family know, because a lot of people don't know. Last month, January, just a few, you know, weeks ago, I went for my 3-month scan. And at first it was a CT scan. You know, I went through the machine and a few different spots popped up. So they decided that they wanted to do a PET scan, full body scan, to see what lights up. And a lot of different places lit up. So, you know, and I have a lot of lymph nodes that are enlarged. So they want to see if I'm having a reoccurrence, which I'm not claiming that. I don't believe that, you know, but, you know, I'm still prepared. So next week coming up, I do have a small little surgery coming, and they're going to go in the neck and take the lymph node out, and they're going to send it off for testing to see what's going on. I do want to take you all on that journey with me. So when I do go in for it, maybe I'll do a little vlog just to, you know, see it, so you all can see me getting prepped. Just different things, just to take you all with me on the journey. So I do ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. Please comment and share, give me feedback, different things like that, because, you know, I'm a beginner, so I do need you all's help. But I do love you all, and thank you for watching me. Thank you for supporting in advance, and you all have a good day.